All right, folks, it is officially day 5 of 31 days of horror slash 31 days of Halloween. I apologize, my hair is a mess from some sort of supernatural presence, obviously, the fact that I just woke up. Um, but yeah, the film today, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. I can't go as in depth with this one as some of the other movies because it didn't really have that much of a historical resonance to it. But, it's an interesting film to kind of see just what happened when the horror genre did the transition from being silent, morality play driven kind of stories with a focus on realistic crime, if not a little bit absurd, to being more supernaturally driven and fantastical, and obviously going from the migration from being silent to sound. So, anyway, the movie of today it's called The Devil Doll, and it was released in 1936 and was directed by Todd Browning. Same guy who did what did he do? Did Freaks. He did Dracula, and of course he did The Unknown, the movie we profiled a couple days earlier. So really, in the pantheon of his movies, it's not really one of his better works. I mean, to be honest, it's a pretty forgettable movie. I mean, it does have some fine points by and large. As soon as you watch it, you pretty much forget it. It goes in the back of your head. And that's pretty much it. It's a disposable movie. So anyway, the basic premise. It stars a guy. It's actually Drew Barrymore's grandfather, if I'm not mistaken. And he plays a guy who has like some weird business partnership with a mad scientist who has a plan to save the world. And his idea to save the world is to prevent people from using all the natural resources by doing what else? Shrinking people down to 1/6 their normal sizes. Well, anyway, he ends up getting killed, and Lionel Barrymore, who plays the main protagonist, antagonist, whatever you want to call him, he decides to use this technology to get revenge against some of his old business associates. So he shrinks them down to action figure size, and they run around. They're trying to find a way to escape and get back to normal size. And the entire time, Lionel Barrymore, he's trying to evade the police. And frankly, it's a very iffy movie. Like, it does not come off as scary at all. There's nothing really freaky about it. I mean, it's not really funny either. So it's this weird combination where it's trying to be both a straight horror film and kind of like a proto black comedy at the same time. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's just a big jumbled mess. The special effects are pretty bad. I mean, you don't really expect too much out of them, but when you look at how great the practical effects in Frankenstein and The Unknown were, I mean, you expect a little bit more than what we have here. So yeah, it's pretty much what you expect it to be. It's your usual criminal caper, and eventually there's sort of a open door ending where you're not really sure if the guy got away or if he didn't. But at the end of the day, you just don't care. I mean, it's just very, very predictable. It's by the numbers. I mean, Lionel Barrymore does what he can. He kind of takes it over the top. So watching the film to see him really get hammy, might be the one particular reason to go out and see this movie. But overall, yeah, that's just kind of there. I really wouldn't advise going out of your way to see it. So yeah, this is that point in time where the horror film had been established for a good 20, even 30 years. And like I said earlier, this is that weird transitional period where it's going from being films about murder mysteries and capers and kind of being morality plays to just being really sort of by the numbers, hokey, um, supernatural, monster driven, kind of goofball comedic studio productions. And as you'll soon see as we get into the 1940s and 1950s to a certain degree, that this becomes sort of the preeminent model and mold for the genre. Up until really you got to get into the early 60s before you see that sort of change away back towards more realistic driven horror. But anyway, just for what it is, I'm going to give it 2.5 Reese's Pieces cup. What rating system am I using again? I totally forgot. Is it one with the ghosts, the little ghost Reese's Pieces? I'm gonna give it 2.5 of those out of 4. And you know what? We'll keep going. Not really the best movie from the era. You can do a whole lot better, especially from Todd Browning. But just as sort of a historical piece to kind of see where the horror film started to kind of go on a decline, it's pretty emblematic of all the things that went wrong. So this has that going for it. If you consider that, something worth watching, it probably is.